Hi everyone. Today, or I should say tonight, I'm walking across the moors at midnight on a full moon. Ooh. Now you viewers who watch me on a regular basis may remember me mentioning this during the summer a few months ago. I talked about doing an overnight walk across the moors. Well, tonight's the night. Now I always read the comments and the overwhelming majority of people said, do it, do it. It's all very well, but you guys aren't walking across the moor at midnight on a full moon. But I'm going to do it tonight. Tonight's the night. I've been waiting ages for this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the station and I'm going to hit the open road. I should mention that train that you just saw was the last train of the night. That was my point of no return. It's 11:20 p.m. I'm going to be on the road for the next 7 hours. See you shortly. The moors, midnight, and it's a full moon. Whoa. Wow, this light is bright. I tell you what, Glasgow Airport will be complaining about the amount of light I'm generating at the moment. I'm having to watch the reflective strip at the end of the road here. I don't want to go walking off the edge. Actually, I might just stop, it's safer. The reason why I'm doing this walk is because a few months ago I walked from the Scottish town of Largs to Gourock. And it was a beautiful summer's day, fantastic scenery. And I thought, I'd like to do this at night, but in reverse. And that's exactly what I'm doing now. I'll explain to you why I want to do this at night further down. But at the moment I can see the moon, I can see Mars, and I can see a few stars. There's a clue. Right, I'm going to get walking. First point of reference is a reservoir about 2 miles down that way. I'll speak to you when we get there. Assuming I don't fall into a ditch. Wow. Wow, even the light on my phone is blinding me. I can't see a thing. The light is so bright on this camera, I'm just using a small handheld flashlight. I was in two minds as to what to wear on this trip. I've decided to go on the old black stealth look, and I can hide in the shadows should any cars pass. Plan B was to wear the yellow fluorescent jacket with the high-vis stripes on it. Now I do have that here, I just don't know if I'm going to use it. I probably won't, because with the full moon and your eyes adapting to the dark, it's actually not too bad. I think I can actually do this walk without falling into a ditch. Right, I'm going down to this reservoir. I've had one car pass me already, and he probably had a heart attack when he saw me at the side of the road. So I'm going to have to watch what I'm doing. Right, I'll see you when we're down at the reservoir. Just a little update. Listen to how quiet it is. I can hear some noise coming from one of the shipyards down in Greenock, but apart from that, not a peep. It's so peaceful up here. Until the werewolves come out at midnight. Ooh. Well, when the train left the station there, it was 11:20 p.m. At Largs, at the other end of this walk, the first train of the day is at 6:45 in the morning. That gives me about 7.5 hours to walk about 19 kilometres. Now, I'd normally be able to do that in about 3 hours, but that is on a sunny day on a straight level track. This could take about 4 hours, 5 hours. I'm going to start slowing down because I'm going to arrive in Largs. There's nowhere in the town open for a breakfast. I'm going to be sitting there shivering. Right, let's get walking. Well, that was car number 2, and this is the busiest part of the whole road until we get to the reservoir. Then I think the traffic will die a death. It's about 12:30 in the morning now, and I don't expect to see too much traffic on this road whatsoever. Only one thing wrong about talking into a camera like this with such a bright light. For the next 5 minutes I'm going to have a blue mark in my eyes and I can't see anything. Right, let's get walking. I don't like walking when I'm talking into this camera because I cannot see a thing. I can't even see the road. Those trees are so spooky at night. Okay, well I've made it to the halfway point. I'll tell you what I'm up to. Years ago, many years ago, I used to live in Australia. And one day I left on an APT, Australian Pacific Tours camping holiday from Alice Springs. It went across the Northern Territory, Western Australian border, through the Tanami Desert to Broome, through the Kimberleys, up to Darwin, Kakadu National Park, Catherine Gorge, Devil's Marbles, back to Alice Springs. And it was an absolutely fantastic tour. On the first night, we were camping in the Tanami Desert. Now as the campfire was dying away and people were going back to their tents, I decided to stay up, and I looked up and I couldn't believe what I saw. It was the Milky Way from one horizon to another. I had never seen anything that bright before. In fact, it was so bright I could look at my hand and think, I could read off that. Anyway, I've always wanted to experience that again. Unfortunately, here on the west coast of Scotland, it's usually raining, and if it's not raining, it's cloudy. So waiting for a nice, sharp, crisp, clear night, it's hard to do. But 4 o'clock this afternoon, I did see the weather report, clear skies, I need to do this. So within 4 hours I was ready, and here I am. I thought having the moon up there would have been a good idea, but it seems to be lighting up all of the light fog and clouds around here, and it's really making it hard to see anything at all. I can see stars, don't get me wrong, but I'm not seeing the whole spread of the Milky Way I was hoping to see. I haven't given up yet though. Right, what have I learnt on this walk so far? Well, if you've got any runoff from fields and it flows over a road and you're going up in the hills and it's below freezing, what happens to the water? Some parts of that road back there were absolutely treacherous, but we managed to get through. Down at the reservoir, I was told off by a flock of geese. Obviously they didn't like the idea of being woken up at 1 o'clock in the morning by a human being. I really copped a beakful, I can tell you. And I thought I heard a barking dog, and I thought maybe it's a wolf. Werewolf? They're wolf. But I thought, nah, we haven't had wolves in the UK for hundreds of years, and it couldn't have been a werewolf because they howl, they don't bark. So, two thoughts. It was either, down at the reservoir, people go fishing, maybe someone's camping overnight, and that was the dog, and he heard me marching past. Or, it could have been a deer, because deers actually bark as well to warn other deers that there's an intruder. Either way, I didn't hang around long. I've made it to the halfway point. I'm going to have a rest here. I've got loads of time to kill. This is now 1:30 in the morning. First train is at 6:45 AM. What's the hurry? See you along the way. It's so hard to see when I've got a light on me. Oh, very slippery, very icy. Oh, made it. I'm just looking at the frost on the grass here. This reminds me of the film The Blair Witch Project. Very creepy. We're getting close to civilization. Well, I've just passed my first 2 farmhouses and I've just spotted the lights of Largs ahead. I'll be there in about an hour, I think, but I'm going to slow down, slow down. Hooray, the first street light of Largs. Well, the good news is I made it to Largs. The bad news is it's 3:30 in the morning and I've got a 3-hour wait in the cold until the first train of the day. Also, I've got a 3-hour wait before the first shop opens that sells coffee. It's so peaceful here and quiet. You know, for the last 30 years I've lived within 1 hour's drive of Largs, and I've been here so many times, but I've never actually been here at 3:30 in the morning. It's a very different place. So what have I learnt? Well, there might not be werewolves up on the moors. Either that or I was very lucky, who knows. I did hear a lot of strange noises up there. I heard some owls, I saw a bat, I heard a couple of crows away in the distance going, ah, ah, don't those birds sleep? It was 2:30 in the morning, way earlier than the roosters, and there they are up in the hills making a racket. What is wrong with those birds? And I also heard some grunting. And I couldn't quite work out what the grunting was until I came down closer to the shore. I actually passed a field full of sleeping sheep. And did you know that sheep snore? Yeah, you didn't know that, did you? That's something you don't hear on YouTube every day, and that alone I think deserves a thumbs up. What else have I learnt? Well, I've learnt that my Samsung phone, cheaper end of the market, and my Canon camcorder can't differentiate between a silhouette of a hill and a moonlit sky at night. It's just totally black. So that's why there's not a lot of footage of silhouettes of hills, really. Right, I'm going to head into town. I think the chances of finding something open at this time of the day is somewhere between slim and none. But I'm going to have a look around because I could do with a cup of coffee. So did I achieve what I wanted to achieve? No, not really. I was hoping to see the Milky Way. Did not see that at all. I saw stars, I saw Mars, I saw the moon. But apart from that, nah, bit of a disaster. I may have to go back to the Tanami Desert in Australia to do it. Yeah. Anyway, I know it's not been that interesting a video, but I really wanted to do it because I had asked you guys, should I do it or not? And most of you said yes. So would I do something like that again? I probably would. It was amazing the sort of sounds that you hear when you're in the middle of nowhere, and it was so quiet, so quiet. But I probably wouldn't take the video camera because it doesn't make a very interesting video for you guys. Anyway, give me a thumbs up, because after all, I did tell you that sheep do snore when they're asleep. That deserves a thumbs up, come on. I'll see you next time. 2 hours, and then the coffee shop opens. 2 hours.